1939. There is a 10-year-old black shoeshiner in America, specially selected at the bank entrance. Shine shoes for those wealthy white people in suits and shoes. During the shoe polishing process, white people will talk about a lot of financial secrets. These things will be carefully recorded by him. Wait for the white man to tip and leave. He wrote it down in his own notebook. What this little black man wants is not that little tip, but these valuable financial knowledge. Not only that, but also, he will also post it at the bank window to eavesdrop on meetings inside. This is his ideal since childhood, and to be a banker. This is a true story. The prototype of the story is named Bernard Darrett. In the 1950s, under the control of white people in the US financial industry, he bought 2 banks to speculate on real estate and let them rent out, owning 177 properties. From a small shoeshiner to a real estate tycoon, the history of the legendary black man's rise to fame. He wants to start at the age of 25. At that time, Xiaohe earned his first bucket of gold in life. Buying a car, getting a wife, and having children. Come to big cities for development. This day, when he was looking for a house, he found that the ghetto was overcrowded after all, and there are still many vacant houses in the white area, but they would rather be empty, and he refused to rent it to black people. Black people have a rental demand, but there is no market. Xiaohe immediately smells the business opportunity. He wants to speculate on real estate and release rent. At the beginning, an apartment in Xiaixing. His location advantage is adjacent to the ghetto. He found the owner. I want to buy it for $30,000 with all my possessions. That was $1,954. This price is much lower than the loss-making business in the real estate market at that time. Of course, the owner doesn't do it. Little black indicates understanding. Rejected. Xiaohe saw a bank behind the owner delivering it to the counter. He immediately came up with a dirty idea. Go directly to the bank to find the credit manager. But the bank front desk says he's black. Just talk nonsense. People are not present. After several waits, he finally waited until the manager finished work. Say hello immediately, saying I want to buy a property from the owner. I hope the bank can lend him a loan, and this business is secure. Make a steady profit without losing. Although I know the customer's information, the credit manager did not take his needs seriously. At night, the owner called to inquire if Zero was using his name to borrow money from the bank. Sure enough, abiding by rules cannot make a big business. Xiaohe successfully obtained a bank loan, the first step in officially launching his real estate empire. To save money, he brought in relatives and friends to decorate together. An aunt saw cursing. How can there be black people in a white area? Xiaohe said frankly, because he bought this place. Auntie thinks this is a great shame. I moved out the next day, and this apartment building was soon fully rented out. Owner Buck sees a business opportunity. He invited Xiaohe to become bigger and stronger together. When signing a contract with telemarketing, he will come forward. The last 5 cents. Little black thinks he's black, always targeted here. Now you can make money without having to come out on your own. It's also a good way. They bought more houses, rented out after all renovations. Soon, Xiaohe finally has his own house, but the good times don't last long. One night, Buck passed away unexpectedly, and his wife is very discriminatory towards black people. I don't want to collaborate with Zero. I want to buy all his equity at a low price, otherwise, we will file a lawsuit. Anyway, the purchase contract was signed by my husband. The lawyer said he could have the credit manager testify in court, but without Buck, the credit manager turns his head, and doesn't recognize anyone. Xiaohe walked out of the bank and was very angry, but it was also suppressed, because he came up with a clever idea. Look at the bank surrounded by white people. A genius idea surged towards him. I want to buy this bank building. Under the introduction of his wife, Xiaohe met the richest black man in the area, Lao Hei. Convince him to join the gang. The other party saw through him at a glance. The two of them understood. Laugh. But to buy the bank, the first obstacle is black identity. White people will definitely not sell it to them. This point, Xiaohe already had a plan. He found a white guy to take them out. In extraordinary times, there must be extraordinary means. In order to give my younger brother the personality of a big shot, Xiaohe and Lao Hei conducted a series of training for him, learning the favorite sports for money, golf school, real estate and finance knowledge, eating various large dishes, various fine wines, customized high-end suit. After a month of surprise renovation, the poor boy transformed himself, becoming a tasteful upper-class person, under the arrangement of 2 black bosses. After several encounters and discussions with the owner of the bank building at the golf club, the two gradually became familiar. The time has come for this day. My younger brother officially proposed to the owner that he wants to buy the bank building. At the beginning, the owner wants to sell for $2.4 million, but my little brother relied on a set of words taught by Xiaohe. Using various survey data and market conditions, just push the price down to $1.56 million and take down this bank. Zero Lao smoothly moved into the bank building, and used this to get more loans from the bank. From south to north, from east to west, the entire Los Angeles property for sale. Basically, it was bought by Xiaohe for rent, and he also quietly became a Los Angeles real estate tycoon. 1963, Zero returns to his hometown in Texas to visit his father. Father is proud of his success, But after many years, racial discrimination in Texas remains unchanged. He and his son are walking on the street, can clearly see that there are black and white water dispenser. I would like to ask the young shoeshine how much it costs to white once, but the young man said, he only deals with white people. Xiaohei looked up at the bank and fell into contemplation. Zioe has decided to buy this bank in his hometown. He found Old Black to discuss. I didn't expect the old black face to darken this time, because Zira's hometown of Texas is the place with the most severe racial discrimination. Black people, let alone buying banks, not even going to the bank to do business. This is no longer a business issue. Xiao's heart has been determined. Old Black had to leave his words behind. Sooner or later something will happen like this, but he still decided to contribute, not for anything else, just doing the right thing to support friends. Soon, the matter of buying a bank has been settled. It's time to sign the contract. We need a white guy to come forward. Lao Hei dressed up as a driver, follow him into the bank. Xiaohei refuses to exchange. I had to stay in the car and watch through a telescope. At this point, a police car passed by. Xiaohei quickly put on the driver's hat. The police are not blaming you. Wait until Old Black and Little Brother sign the contract. Get in the car and take a look. Here we go. Next, they made it according to the law. Buy another bank. On the surface, the white guy's the president of these two banks. Behind the scenes, the real bosses are the cleaner Xiaohei and the driver Lao Hei. They operate their own bank as the following individuals. Just started lending to black people, help them start a business and buy a house. Loan. The manager quickly detected an abnormality. In Texas at that time, no bank will lend to black people. He secretly followed my little brother. Only then did I realize that my immediate supervisor was actually two black people. So he's been working for black people all along. The manager feels that this is a great shame. He anonymously reported bank lending violations to the office of the controller of the currency. The next day, the investigator will come and check the account. As a result, he really discovered 4 illegal loans. Neither Little Black nor Old Black can believe it. Every loan is reviewed by them, absolutely not illegal, under their coercion. Little brother, that's when I revealed the secret. He hired a lawyer recommended by the manager. Now it seems that lawyers should have tampered with loan contracts, framing them. Xiaohei and Lao Hei are not angry at each other, but there's nothing I can do about it. Little brother knows he has made a big mistake. Just quietly transfer these illegal loans to another bank. He was supposed to be making amends. Unexpectedly, it constitutes fraud in law. Both banks have been closed down now, and Zirei and Laoei were also arrested by the FBI. Little brother can't handle pressure, acknowledging the siege of counterfeit bank loans, and illegally transferring loans between two banks. Both were manipulated by Xiaohei and Lao Hei. At night, Xiaohei and the lawyer went to see the senator. The other party said, if he helps the senator in reaffirming white supremacy in the hearing, he is confident in revoking all charges. Otherwise, he will be besieged by white Texas. Not long ago, the hearing begins. Little Black did not compromise. Instead, he took out his work equipment and questioned them. Why can black people only wear work clothes to go to the bank to race of the, from the American after the hearing? Xiaohei and Laohei were sentenced to 3 years for abusing bank funds. There is only one of their 177 properties retained under the name of Zira's wife. All the rest will be confiscated. 3 years later, Zioe and Laohei released from prison. The two of them talked and laughed together, because they still have 2 properties in the Bahamas. Original. The night before my younger brother testified in court, he arranged a meeting with Xiaohei. I talked about the pressure I am facing. If we don't follow the congressman's instructions, the other party has a way to put him in prison for 50 years. Xiaohei didn't complain, just made a request to my younger brother. Help him buy 2 adjacent properties in the Bahamas. With these 2 properties, Little Black and Old Black rise again in the eastern hills of the Bahamas, later move back to the United States, continue to buy a house in the white area, renting to black residents. The movie is called Banker, adapted from real people and events. 1968, the U.S. Congress passes the Fair Housing Act, prohibition of racial discrimination in property sales and leasing. Okay, this concludes the current period. Remember to pay attention to Xiao Kai in the film Wilderness, more exciting in the next issue.